Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Leilani of the Pumpkin Patch. As most of you already know, I am the pumpkin that Harry and Meghan chose, and I am here to expose their staged Halloween fiasco. Let's get into it. Now I know what you're going to say. Of course, Leilani, you're not the pumpkin. You said you were the bird who lived in the Montecito Mama and Papa palm trees. You said you were the chef on the With Love Meghan show and the creative director, let's not forget. You've even said you were the banana that Meghan Markle handed out to the ladies of the night. Well, I actually never said that. Like I was never the banana. Hello? I never did the banana, right? Anyway, this time it's real because I have footage of them picking me from the pumpkin patch, carving me. It is what it is. Harry's not the best surgeon. Marcus Anderson is far superior. He has that flair, but I couldn't afford him. So I got stuck with Harry the tryhard instead. Really quickly, why is Marcus Anderson always there? What is he doing always in their realm? And a lot of people took issue with these staged photographs. Now, I'm going to admit something to you. I too have done staged photographs. This is husband and I at Mumbai airport in India. As you can see, I am dressed appropriately for the culture. I just thought it was a really good lighting. Even the structure of the building where you see the cutout squares in the construction, it was looking like old-time film, the border of old-time film. I set up this photo, we put the camera up, we put it on a timer, and we did the photograph. But as you can see, because there is real chemistry between us, you can see that our hands are held closely. That is why when everyone saw this photograph of them so far apart, people said, what is really going on here? This looks weird. I don't know if they have an open relationship because Marcus is there and then it just seems very miserable and awkward. We have all of the witnesses that witnessed me being carved, of course. Harry, Lily, Meghan, Marcus Anderson, Archie, and Mama Doria. But this is really what I wanted to get into, is the actual trick-or-treating. Harry and Meghan go trick-or-treating in a Santa Barbara neighborhood. The photographs have been taken by Carl Larson via Backgrid, who then sold them on to Page Six. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's neighbors scored quite the treat as the royals took their kids trick-or-treating for Halloween 2025. Photos obtained by Page Six showed the parents walking door to door in Santa Barbara, California with their two children in celebration of the holiday on Friday. Markle 44 showed her spooky spirit in black shirt and sweatpants, which she accessorized with what appeared to be a rainbow butterfly cape. Harry 41 looked casual as he walked by his wife's side in a black polo and jeans for the outing. Before we get into Carl Larson, who has sold these photos to Page Six via Backgrid, I want to talk about how Meghan and Harry look. They look like the darkest clouds that ever entered Halloween. Girl, she just looked like she came out in her pajamas. She's not into it. She has some weird headpiece on. If you're a butterfly, where are the antennae? The thing is that she's a dark cloud in everyone's events. She's not sellable. She's not interesting. Harry looks like he is part of, how do you say this? A reconditioning program. It gives that because he's always wearing the same clothes. It's like you try to keep these clients in their comfort zone and you condition them. They have to wear the same outfits, no sudden moves, and you keep them doing that. If they go off track, you bring them back in by wearing the same outfits again. I don't know. It's just giving a really weird vibe. They bring a very weird vibe. I don't know if this is the hot toddy thing.
Okay, so for holidays, I love having a really cozy, warm beverage that everyone can enjoy. And you could do teas, but you could also do a hot toddy or a spiced cider. I like to make a big pot for everyone.
We're going to go into the, as ever, fake business in the next video. But there they have this hot toddy or whatever they're bringing with them. She has her wine glass to collect all the wine she can collect from other people. Harry carried 2 bottles of an unknown drink, while Markle held a stemless wine cup. The photo agency claimed it's a local tradition to hand out candy for kids and wine for adults. It just looks like 2 really boring, unlikable people coming through your neighborhood. The children are photographed from behind strategically, as usual. Interesting, although Harry and Meghan are taken full on. This is where I get to Carl Larson. So Carl Larson is a type of man who blackmails people with his photos. He sells the photos on, but he tries this thing by himself because no lawyer would ever do this for him, right? He comes along and says, you're using my photo. After he sold the photo, he will come and blackmail and say, you use my photo, F you, pay me. And if the person he's trying to extort is ignorant of the law, they might just pay him a couple $100 and make him go away. But if he ever tried to file anything with the courts, it would get thrown out immediately. So you put it out into the public domain. You are a bottom feeder paparazzi. Come on, stop it now. And he does these court cases all the time. It costs him no money. Like I said, he does not hire an attorney. But I myself wanted to talk about that because I went through that a little bit, kind of. He went on a rampage a few years ago where he tried to sue every YouTuber and anybody who had ever talked about him, whether they used his footage, did not use his footage, whatever it is, he went after. And in my case, YouTube fought my battle for me. I didn't even know it was happening. But YouTube, I did a video on it. I'll link it here. But he decided to go after me because I was talking about his YouTube channel that he did with Thomas Markle Sr. Now, that's the whole link of Carl Larson. That's very suspicious. Carl Larson is the man who ruined the relationship between Meghan Markle and her father. Or at least Carl Larson gave Meghan Markle an excuse to not invite her father to the wedding because she said he's working with a paparazzi. When he did the suit fitting photos, those photos were taken by none other than Carl Larson. And nobody knew whether Carl Larson was set up by the Markle family, Meghan Markle, or what was going on. But what he did in the end was say, let's do a YouTube channel, Thomas Markle Sr. And a lot of people saw immediately the manipulation, the elderly abuse of that channel. I reacted to the channel and I did all the bells and whistles and the transformative thing that you have to do as a YouTuber and reacted to it. And he came after me, but I didn't know. Then he came after my channel, which I did not know because YouTube was also like, go fly a kite. And then he went after YouTube and said he was going to sue YouTube. And then he went after Google and said he was going to sue Google, girl. This is Carl Larson, who has popped up back in this neighborhood photographing Meghan and Harry. So it almost looks like they could be in cahoots with Carl Larson. Now, Carl Larson did take down a lot of YouTubers by doing this. This man is a maniac. When I was doing research on him after YouTube sent me the whole transcript and everything, I had nothing to do with it. I had to fight no battles. I was like, oh, this is interesting. That happened. Okay. What I found out about him is that his wife is a realtor in celebrity neighborhoods. And one thing about realtors in celebrity neighborhoods is that the more knowledge they have on other celebrities who live in those neighborhoods, the better. Clients always want to know, from what I understand, who lives where, what is a better neighborhood based on who lives where. I'm just wondering, how does he get to know that this neighborhood, as the photo agency claimed, it's the local tradition to hand out candy for kids and wine for adults? He seems to know a lot about this neighborhood. And I was wondering when I did my research, is a paparazzi, that has a wife who sells properties and has knowledge of every celebrity who lives in the neighborhoods of the property she sells. Is that not a bad combination? Is that not a way for this man to show up at 4 o'clock in the morning outside of a celebrity's house that a celebrity did not even know that how he knows that they live there? He's in this neighborhood, which I would only assume is very gated. Maybe only realtors have access to it. Do you know what I mean? Very protected, walking around, and he is photographing them. He also found his way to the Philippines to photograph Thomas Markle Jr. and Sr. when they moved there, when nobody knew they moved there, in fact. Look at this photo. Looks like Carl Larson came to the Philippines to find a girlfriend also, not just to exploit Thomas Markle Sr. This man is very entwined with the Meghan and Harry. I'm sorry. It's very spooky. This is your spooky Halloween issue. Seriously, speaking of spooky Harkle scams, Meghan puts out a video, of her celebrating the World Series baseball in her home theater. Totally relatable, of course. Harry sits like a hostage with his cute popcorn prop next to him. I mean, it just goes to show that you can have all the accoutrement in the world, but a miserable life is a miserable life. Look at his face. Nota bene also that there is no sounds of any baseball games, any kind of audio going on that they are supposedly, allegedly for legal purposes watching. But I digress. Meghan jumps up and prances around in excitement. Okay, who's filming this? You can see her friend is there next to her, who has been identified as Kelly Zyphon, you know, that friend. What you don't see is what's on the screen. That's because they aren't actually watching the game. Kelly has already watched the game at her home with her daughter and is just there as another prop to help Meghan pretend she had a World Series watch party with friends, of course. Meghan is mentally unwell, guys. Once she gets fixated on something, Lord help you. And right now, it's baseball. Let's read some online reactions to this madness. The New York Post says, Meghan Markle accused of staging World Series celebration alongside disinterested Prince Harry. Okay. Laranita says, better yet, let Kelly explain how she was watching the game at her house with her daughter, only to later go watch it alone with Meghan. You see, that's her daughter there. Meghan's mole responded, did Kelly watch the game at her home only to run over to Harry and Meghan's to record a stupid video of her jumping like a maniac with Meghan at their big age? As I'm saying, nobody does this stuff, Meghan. Look around you. Nobody's on the internet doing this. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching me. I have a lot of videos coming up for you. November is going to be very exciting for us, so please stick with me. Subscribe, press the bell notifications, put down in the comments what you think of this Halloween fiasco strangeness. Love you all so much. You know that. Okay, bye.
Bye.